What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing another tier list in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. And lads, this is going to be a tier list of the best Galaxy Opals in the game. So we're going to be talking about the best players at that tier, and obviously we're going to be ranking them compared to the other players in the tier. Because obviously a quite weak Galaxy Opal is going to be better, for example, than a very good Amethyst a lot of the time. Actually, I could have said that. If I said that a week ago, it might be correct. Obviously not right now because of the way the game has gone. But yeah, before we get onto it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying 250k, and lads, thank you for all the support recently today. It's been absolutely crazy. Like right now, we are less than 750 away. We're pushing 700 away. It's looking like we're trying to hit it by the end of the month. It's looking like we're going to hit it the way things are going in the next couple of days. Again, a huge thank you. We've got 4 days left to do it, and it's going to be very, very close. So anyway. This is what we have got. So all of these right here. We've got these guys right here. So we got quite a lot of cards. So let's go and get onto it. Andre Iguodala. In terms of modern day cards, I don't rate him high, but I think he is better than a lot of the like early day opals. He's better than the Jimmy Butlers of the world. C or D? I'll go C with the potential to move down. I think that's a fair one for him. AK S. Like there's like 70 or something cards on this list, or 80 cards, and there are 7 tiers. So we're gonna have 10 players in the top tier, and he's without doubt a top 10 opal. Maybe not a top 10 card in the game anymore, but he's without doubt a top 10 Galaxy Opal in the game. So I'm gonna be putting Andre Kirilenko, AK-47, right up here into S tier, where I believe he belongs. Okay. So now we have got Andrew Bogut. I mean, is he quite bad just being worthless here? I don't think so. He's bad. Don't get me wrong. As far as centers that you have to purchase go that are opals, he's probably the worst. But there are a lot of really bad free opals. We can't forget that. There are a lot of really bad free opals. And I don't think... It's like saying... Like that worthless tier, I know he's on the list, but that's like the Elgin Baylor / Bill Walton tier. I don't think he's not bad. He's not unusable. He's not good. Not unusable. He was one of the worst opals for when he came out, though, because he came out like midway through. He was like midway through season 5. So he was just... Oh man, it was just very late to get a card this week. Alright. Jameson. Oh, I mean, he's still Chicken Man. He's Chicken Man. I still like Jameson. But, like, I don't think I can justify using Jameson anymore. I really don't. Like, I'm still a fan of the card, but... Oh, I'm going to say C. I think I'll take him over Iguodala. But he's not great. Davis. Because almost all the best centers are Dark Matter, or in Bol Bol's case, Pink Diamond, and Diamond in Eddie Curry's case, the centers are significantly better than them. I'm not sure how many opal centers there are better than him. But Davis, I mean, he was unbelievable for his time. Like, we can't forget, the dude came out on like the 10th of January or something. Was it? Or was the 1st? Was the 8th of January he came out? I can't even remember the dates, but he came out on that second Friday in January after the Chris Webber. And he was the best player in the game when he came out, and it wasn't even close. Heck, like, he was the best center in the game for more than a month. Like, even when, like, Yao Ming and stuff were coming out, like, AD was still by far the best center in the game. Like, everybody, I think, used Anthony Davis. He was still the best center in the game on the 20th of February. Like, he was the best center in the game until Like, I'm trying to think when the first center that was significantly better than... I think the Jokic and Dirk, maybe? I think Jokic and Dirk were probably the ones that were better, and then it was still debatable. I think until D-Rob came out, you could still debate AD as the best center in the game, so I think B tier is good for him. Gilmore, man, you stink. I have lost 9 games of triple threat offline in the past, like, month. All 9 of them have been from me trying to score with Gilmore. He is the worst. He used to have somewhat redeemable qualities because he could play a little bit of defense and he could post hook. But they broke the post hooks. The guy can't shoot. The guy's not particularly fast. And he can't even do the one thing that he used to be able to do, which was score post hooks. So, man, I can't put him above worthless. The dude is worthless. Then we have got Arvydas Sabonis. Sabonis is better than AD. He is definitely better than AD. Sabonis has got a decent release. Again, it's a love it or hate it type release. I am a big fan of the Set Shot 8, which is the Marcus Cousins release and the Yao Ming release. I know some people hate it, so I'm not going to say it's an objectively good release. He's got really good height, decent speed, and obviously a great shooter, great passer. His dribbling's not great, but still. He's a 7'3" big man who can shoot the lights out and actually get some really nice animations when you burst with him. So, yeah, Arvydas Sabonis, you are in A tier right here. Okay, Baron Davis. Baron Davis. You suck, Baron Davis. I'm sorry, you absolutely suck. Like, you don't have Showtime on current gen, you don't have good dunks next gen, and you don't even have half range. Like, there are legitimately Amethyst Baron Davis is better than Opal Baron Davis if you're on current gen. Like, there are legitimately Ruby point guards that are better than this Baron Davis. I grinded so much for him. I completed his spotlights. When I completed his spotlights, I did a 10-hour live stream. I nearly collapsed. I was trying to get him the day before the qualifier 3 for 250. And I nearly collapsed with how much I was grinding for this guy. And he sucked. I used him and I lost like game 3 and did nothing with him. He was so bad. Baron Davis, oh man, the guy was absolutely horrendous. Even when he, actually, no, that's tough to say. He was good when he came out, but man, for the amount of grind he was, him and Marion, man, don't even get me started on the Sean Marion card. He wasn't bad, but like, the grind for both of them was so high. Bill Russell. D, he's not good. 73 ball. He's like a worse version of the Ben Wallace card we got. Bill Walton. Bill Walton, just like Patrick Ewing, is only ever brought onto these tiers because he is worthless. He is absolutely worthless. So Bill Walton would have been interesting. I'm pretty sure he was on the Opal board or the Opal voting thing. And I actually like his release, and his animations were good last year. So, like, I have a weird feeling that if we do end up getting a Bill Walton, that he's going to be good. Like, there's no reason why he wouldn't be good. He just has, this card here has the stats of a Ruby, and not even great badges, and they made him a Galaxy Opal because they bumped up his intangibles, but this is like Ben Wallace, where his animations are good enough. Oh, we could see a good version of Bill Walton later on in the year. So, now we got Billy Owens. B. His hot zones are killer. That's the only problem with him. The guys have 3 non-hot zones outside the 3-point line. And they're the 3 most important spots for 2-guard. He's a really good defensive 2-guard. He's 6'8". Got a good release. He's actually very, very good on next gen. Problem is that I know for a fact he's not good on current gen. Those hot zones, they really kill him. Like, unless you're green in every shot, you are going to struggle to hit whites because of how important hot zones are on current gen. Like, badges mean way, way more on current gen than they do on next gen. On next gen, it's animations that are key. Animations and dribble style are key. On current gen, it's badges that are key. And hot zones, stuff like that. So, I mean, Billy Owens is a very, very solid player. I'm not going to put him above B tier, but he's a good defender. And if you like the card, be my guest, use him. Bobby Jones. I do not think Bobby Jones is better than AK. But if I have AK and S, I have to have Bobby Jones on S. I think AK is the better card. I think AK is significantly better on next gen. I think AK is slightly better on current gen. I'm not the highest on base 4. I'm very quick. I don't think Bobby Jones is a bad lock-in. Now, if you're considering doing that exchange, if you can snipe the cards and you can lock them in for like 60k, I don't actually think it's a bad idea. I'm not going to not recommend them. Although, like, again, you have to have that card and you can't sell them back. So, I think I like the way 2K have done that with the exchanges. Like, they made the exchanges probably a cheaper price than, for example, Bobby Jones would be if he was on the auction house. But at the same time, because he's cheaper and you can't sell him, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, so there's a disadvantage as well. I actually do really like what they did with the exchange with him. I don't believe he's close to being a top 10 card in the game. He's not bad. He's better on current gen than next gen as well. He's one of the few cards. Like, he's better on current gen than next gen. Bill Russell's better on current gen than next gen. There's some guys that are better in current gen than next gen, but most of the time it's the opposite way. Lanier. Meh. This is a next gen beast. Awful on current gen. So D. Now, when I mean awful on current gen, I mean like he's probably worthless tier on current gen. He's as steady, which is a good thing on next gen. Awful on current gen. But he's only a 6'3" card that can't play point guard. If he could play the point guard, he'd be interesting enough. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think he has a good dribble style on next gen. His whole thing is that he's one of the most chicken players in the game on next gen. And he's got hot blinders, so he can get a lot of shots. He's a really good catch and shoot player. But yeah, he's a 6'3" guard who can't play the point. Brandon Roy. He's better than Nick with B tier? B tier? He's way better on current gen than next gen. I struggle to get open with him on next gen. I struggle to use him in general on next gen. Trey Burke base. Basically, he's like a slightly worse version of that Tracy McGrady Opal. Cedric Maxwell. B. I don't love his release. I think he has a lot, like his release is good enough, but it's not. It's quick. It's good on current gen. Cedric Maxwell is another one of those way better on current gen than he is on next gen. He can curry slide about gens. He gets good defensive animations on current gen. Again, defensive animations aren't the biggest deal in the world on next gen because they don't seem to, well, defense doesn't matter because nobody can play defense anyway. You just better pray your opponent misses. And yeah, he's really, really good card, good length. I'm just going to put him in B tier because I think I would take like a Mullen over a Maxwell, but it's really close. Mullen is so cash. Doesn't matter what gen you are on. Mullen does not miss. Is he more expensive than he should be? Probably. Is he like worth close to the 100k? And I'm going to say no. Is he going to be worth... I'm pretty sure he's over 100k at some stage. I think at some stage he's been over 100k, and I would say he's definitely not worth that. But he's an elite shooter. I would take him over a Billy Owens. I would take him over a Cedric Maxwell. And I believe that he is a very, very underrated player because he's in that mystery set. Chris Paul. I mean, he's better than Baron Davis, and he's not in... like, these guys... Like, Chris Paul's an undersized point guard. But he's closer to these guys than he is to these guys in the bottom. Like, just because you're a 6-foot tall point guard doesn't make you worthless. Being as worthless as these three guys makes you worthless. The Chris Webber... D. I mean, he's still chicken. It's his release more than anything. It is his release more than anything. I really like this card. I don't think he's worth locking in because it's actually more expensive to lock in this one to get the good Chris Webber. But I don't think Webber's too bad. And we got point guard Webber. Trying to think who is the best pink or opal point guard in the game. It's Luka. And yeah, it's probably him and Luka. So I'm gonna put him in S. Webber got a good release, decent dribbling. He's better on next gen than current gen. He's got a big player build, and obviously comes with gold blinders as well. Only gold range though. Clyde the Glide Drexler. B. He's in that Cedric Maxwell tier. They are very, very similar cards. I think a lot of people would prefer Maxwell. I personally prefer Clyde. I think on current gen, Maxwell's quite a bit better on next gen. Clyde's quite a bit better, so I've got to put them in the same tier. Dame. This Dame. I mean, he's 6'2" with a not great wingspan. Oh, no, I can't. I'm going to put CP3 up a tier. At least CP3 has that Rondo thing about him where he's got a quick release. Got to release him very quick and just score on people. I'm not a fan of Dame in this game. Danny, get into S tier. You're the best. Numero uno. It'll be a long time in my till there's a card in my team that I personally will say is better than Danny Ferry. The way I play, it will be very, very difficult to overtake Mr. Numero Uno himself, Danny Ferry. He is number one. Speaking of number one, speaking of S tier, David Robinson is S tier. No question about it. That guy is an absolute beast. He's an absolute beast. A dominant force in this game, dunking on everybody. Shooting is spectacular. His defense is great. And D-Rob's S. Now the controversial one. I love this card, but I'm not going to put him above B tier. Don't worry. The way I play the game, he's better than Chris Webber for me on next gen. But don't get me wrong, Darren Williams is probably E tier on worthless. Or sorry, on current gen. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely not worthless here. Like look, we can all just accept that very few players belong in this worthless tier. But I'm not saying with any confidence that Darren Williams is better than Dame on current gen. I don't know whether he is or not. That's a close one, but I can't say with confidence that on next gen, this Darren Williams is different. So I'm going to put him into B tier because I don't want people to go crazy if I have him in a higher tier, but like, he's my starting point guard right now, so make it out what you will. Detlef. Like, slightly better Jameson. He's been overtaken a lot. The guy's probably D tier on current gen. I wouldn't say E tier on current gen. He's better on current gen than D-Will is on current gen. Half blinders, half range, great shooter. Doesn't offer much else. C tier. He's like a worse bars DM. Devin Booker. I've used him only on current gen and he was okay. Like, I'm going to put him in C tier. How many? I think of the cards we have left. I might move a bunch of people. I might move people around. Iggy, you go down. I like Jameson. I'm just going to say that. Bradley Beal, you go down. You go... No, he's not 2 tier. Weber's not 2 tiers below Chicken Man Jameson. Yeah, this looks better. And then... I mean, Bob Lanier is a cruise release, so I'm going to put him in C tier. But you could argue Bob Lanier up a tier. Yeah, I'll go with that. Dirk. I'm going to put Dirk and Jokic in A tier. Like, wherever Dirk is, Jokic is, because... that might be jumping the gun. I think I jumped the gun with Mullen as well. Gonna move you down a tier as well. And again, this is like a very, very close one. Because like Brandon Roy versus Clyde is preference. I prefer Clyde. A lot of people prefer Brandon Roy, so that's just preference. Dominique. I don't like him. I hate his release. Is he better? He's like Clyde, in my opinion, with a worse release. So I'm going to put him 1 tier below Clyde. That is basically the best way I can describe Dominique. Clyde with a worse release. Donald. See, he's better than CP3. He's better on current gen than Darren Williams. He's a lot better than Darren Williams on current gen. But he's so much worse on next gen that I'm going to put Darren Williams in a tier ahead. Like, again, because I know all the comments are going to be about this card right here. Darren Williams. I'm telling you right now, if you are a current gen player complaining about this card, I am telling you right now, he is garbage on current gen. But he is a god on next gen, so I cannot put a guy that's a god on next gen in C tier. Like, he is A tier, borderline S on next gen, the way the game plays. Height doesn't make any difference because height's more important than anything on defense, and nobody plays defense anyway on next gen. Darren Williams, or sorry, Donovan Mitchell. E. He's not. He's by no means as garbage as these guys, but he's not great. His animations aren't great. His release isn't great. He was good when he came out, though. Like, again, he came out 6 weeks ago and was free. So, I mean, I do think that he came out 7 weeks ago at this stage. Jesus. But I do believe that he was a very, very good addition to the game when he came out. It's just, time has passed. Wade, again, was argued best card in the game when he came out. C tier. Like, you can argue... Like, Donald, I think, is better than Wade. Yeah, I think C tier. D tier is probably the best place for him. And if you're talking about Dwayne Wade on next gen, he's down with these guys. But on current gen, he's probably like C, so I'll put him D. Fred. I'm sorry, Fred. Fred stinks. I don't care, like, if a person reacting to this had a good gameplay with him. Fred VanVleet sucks. Fred VanVleet can't dunk. He's 6'1" with a 6'2" wingspan. He's got Giannis base, which is okay. He can't curry. And he's only got one Hall of Fame defensive badge. That guy sucks. Peyton. Wherever Wade is, maybe you can argue him a tier better, but Peyton is the D tier. Gary Trent Jr. I mean, he's bad, isn't he? I don't like that release. He's like a worse Ron Harper. He's like a worse Ron Harper, but he can't play point guard. E tier. Giannis. I hate him, but I know people love him, so I'm going to put him bang smack in the middle in C tier. I can't shoot with the guy. I can't shoot with him. And my whole thing with Giannis is that as bad as you guys want to make me out, I still win 85 to 90% of the games I play online. And unlimited when I'm actually trying. And if I can't shoot with him as a player who's better than the vast majority of random unlimited players, obviously not better than the vast majority of comp players, better than the vast majority of unlimited players. If I can't shoot with him, I have to assume that at least 80% of the people watching this video aren't going to be able to shoot with him either. So I'm going to put him in C tier. This Giannis, though, is a no-brainer S tier. The best. One of the... I can't even say the best anymore, because Fairy exists. One of the best. One of the best Galaxy Opals in this game. Then we've got Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem... Hakeem was growing on me. I was starting to like Hakeem more, and then they patched the post hook, so I'm going to put him in C tier. His jumper's a little bit iffy. The patch in the post hooks kind of killed him, because he was actually, the way his animations were, he was actually one of those overpowered people in the post with hooking. But once they patched the post hooks, yeah, Hakeem's down to C tier. Hito, I mean, he's 6'10" and can move. That keeps him off this like tier of ineptitude. It keeps him just above that, but he's bad. Jamal Murray. I'm gonna put Jamal Murray in D tier. He's alright. He's good on next gen, but like, 1, he's not good on current gen. 2, he's not even as good as Don Ole on next gen. And 3, he's not even close to being as good on next gen than Darren Williams. Although he might be better on current gen than Darren Williams. I'm gonna put him in D tier because like he was kind of good. He was great for his time on next gen with the way he moved. But like, he's not better than Malcolm Brogdon Diamond. He's not better than Tyrese Halliburton. He's not better than Spencer Dinwiddie on next gen. He's not better than Coutinho Mobley on next gen. There are so many new cards that have came out that are better than him, and he's just expensive for expensive sake. Harden, D tier as well. Harden sucks. I don't know what 2K have done. Maybe his release is usable on very quick. I don't know what 2K have done with Harden the past 2 years. Like Harden, I remember him being all right in 19. Harden was very good in 18, but man, 20 and 21. You've not been kind to Harden. Getting to worthless here, you scrub. He epitomizes everything that's bad with the game. First of all, he's got bad... They cruised to dribble sigs. They took away his good dribble sigs. They then didn't give him hot zones. So if you're on current gen, he's got no hot zones. He's got a bad dribble style for next gen. And he's an RNG based card. It is complete luck whether you can get him or not. He epitomizes everything that is wrong with the game. You are never going above worthless here, Jared Culver. You are the false prophet. You are a Flareon. You are Flareon. Lord Helix would not be like, he is like, I don't even know who Lord Helix is. Let's just say he's trying to stop. Let's just say glitch market Tyronn Lue. He's trying to stop, like, every time you get into the glitch market and you get a Jar Culver, that's an opportunity for Tyron Lue missed. He is stopping us from getting Tyron Lue, the Helix Fossil of my team. Then we've got Jason Tatum. Tatum... I mean, I'm putting Tatum in A tier. I mean, I don't think he's spectacular. And he's bad value, but he's good. Like, he's very good. I wouldn't put him in the top tier category, but he's a really good category. He's better than these guys in B tier, I think. I'll put Tatum in A tier. I think he's a very, very solid player. Lin, 1 tier below Donald. Yeah, Jeremy Lin belongs in this, like, Dwayne Wade, Gary Payton tier. Jerry Sloan. B tier, but if we're talking... next gen, I mean, he's either S or A. Jerry Sloan is quality. He is. I think he's one of the most underrated of the vault rewards because he came with Hall of Fame blinders / steady. A lot of people weren't hyped. He's so good. He's so good. Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy was good for his time, but he's not as good as Iggy. So D tier. Hondo. In the right hands, Hondo's S tier. I personally am not the right hands, so I'm going to put Hondo in A tier, but Hondo's Hondo. So Hondo, you have got your spot in one of the top 2 tiers. John Wall. John Wall, better than Dono, does not belong in A tier. Or does he? Oh, I really like John Wall. I'm going to put him in B tier because I just saw the next player is, and it's Juan Carlos Navarro. I think Juan Carlos Navarro is a little bit better than John Wall. I think he can do... I think if you put Navarro at his best is better than John Wall. Is significantly better than John Wall at his best. So I'm going to put Navarro. And it's hard to separate Navarro and Havlicek because they're basically the same card. Just one of them's a little bit smaller and can play point guard and has half showtime. And the other one doesn't have half showtime but is a little bit taller, can't play point guard, and is a bit more length. So, yeah, these guys both here in A tier. Randall, B tier. Randall's good. Randall's good. He's very, very underrated. He can curry, go release. He's good. Kawhi. Ooh. This is a tough one. I'm putting him in A for now with the potential to be moved up to S tier. If we're talking current gen, he's probably A. If we're talking next, in my opinion, like next, he's better than Bobby Jones. So like, he's spectacular on next gen. Kermit, B. I think Kermit for me is very similar to this Giannis. I just shoot better with Kermit. Simple as they are. If you want to bring Kermit down one and Giannis up, or both of them up, or both of them down, that is perfectly fine. But his shooting is very comparable to his Giannis, but I find it a lot easier to shoot with the XM base on Kermit than Giannis, but that is just me. That is just me. So, Kermit, you will go into B tier. This Kevin Durant A, this Kevin Durant S. They are very close to both being an S tier. The center KD, lads, sometimes tall players don't move as well in this game. I mean, KD's an exception. Like, I don't know where that came from because Kevin Durant is an absolutely insane movement-wise on both gens. KD's release kind of hard to green, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter anymore because every white goes in. And it's easy to green on next gen where anyone can green basically any shot with any release on that gen. So, yeah. Kevin Durant is going in here into S tier with his 2-guard card and A tier with his small forward, power forward. The only reason is that the power forward one, you can't really play a power forward because he's got rebound in the 60s. That's literally just a nitpick for why he's not S tier. He's fantastic. Kevin McHale. C tier. McHale's good. Good, not great. Good, not great. That Trae Young base on current gen, I'm not a big fan of. I'm a huge fan of it on next, not a big fan of it on current gen. His movement's alright. He gets the pro and escape for next gen. Can't obviously do it on current gen. But he is, again, another one of those solid cards that I think C tier right there in the middle is fair. Clay. I mean, I'm not putting Clay above Iguodala. And I think there's definitely bias because his diamond card literally is the same card as him. He's like 10k. This opals are expensive, but I'm not the biggest fan of Clay. Kuz, get into S tier. Kyle Kuzma is fantastic, lads. Kuzma's release is behind the back. Like, I chose Bol today over Kuzma, but man, that was a close one. I was very, very tempted to add Kuzma into my nobody spent lineup. Problem is that I don't think Kuzma would make my lineup over Mel Daniels because of the way I play. But man, Kuzma, I got small forward, power forward. Like, if I would definitely put him in over my Paul Millsap. The only reason I haven't is because Kuzma is like 50k and Millsap's free. I'd rather have Millsap and 50k than Kuzma. But man, Kuzma's release, everything about the guy is spectacular. He's one of the best. He's one of the best cards in the game right now. Larry Bird. Next gen A tier, current gen C tier, so I'm going to put him B tier. Good length, no Curry, but he's a good defender, really good all-around stats. I think you can make the argument that he should be an A tier, but I think B tier is probably the best place to put him. We got LeBron. I don't like this LeBron. I'm going to put him in B tier. I know some people would have him high. I don't think anyone would have him in A tier. Maybe some people might have him over Dirk at power forward. But again, Dirk is there because most of the best centers aren't specifically Galaxy Opal tier. But I reckon LeBron B tier is probably fair. B tier is probably fair for him. I'm not the biggest fan of this LeBron. Lou Hudson, you were so bad. Like, it's funny how bad Lou Hudson is. Like, I've used him a few times. He is so bad. It's mad. It is mental just how bad Lou Hudson is. Luka Doncic, get into S tier. Luka, fantastic shooter, just an overall beast of a card. His handle's good, his shooting's good, his dunking's good. The dude's got Hall of Fame showtime. You can still argue that Luka is the number 2 point guard on most gens. I don't think you can argue him over Simmons, but he's in the conversation with everybody else. I get Simmons and then the rest in terms of point guards. So Luka is in that conversation with everybody else. So I'm going to say Luka is S tier, and I'm going to say there's no doubt about that. Magic, I'm going to put him in A. I'm going to put Magic in A. Magic is a really, really good card. And again, his shooting leaves a little bit to be desired, but sure, look, if you can green with him, you're sorted. You can eventually get used to it because it's not that slow a release. Not a good release either. Problem is, he can't run on current gen. But behind the backs and speed glitches kind of make up for that. Jordan. I don't like Jordan. B tier. I know some people swear by him. I know there are people that swear by Michael Jordan. I'm not one of them. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan at all of Michael Jordan. Like, Jordan came out. Did he not come out pretty early, like? I can't even remember when. Like, Jordan came out on the 5th of February. We saw nobody running Jordan 250k. We saw no one even consider running Jordan 250k. So, I think that, like, that kind of sums it up why he shouldn't be in A tier anyway. Red. B tier. I think he's worse Kawhi. I think Red is literally just worse Kawhi. I know some people like Red. Some people grind a lot for him. I used them. Did not like him. Moses Malone. B. He's good at power forward. He can't really... I mean, on current gen, he can dribble because of the speed glitch. The dude's got basic dribble sigs, though. So he's... Unless you are speed glitching, the guy literally can't even cross the ball over. So if you're trying to dribble with the guy on next gen, like, he will fall over himself. It's Karl Anthony Towns all over again, even though he's got a ball handle. So... Great shooter, though. Great shooter. He is really just a catch and shoot power forward. He's basically... People won't want to hear this. He's basically just Precious Achiuwa. He's basically just Precious Achiuwa. But a little bit taller and a better player build. So, I'm going to say B tier. Jokic. I'm just looking at other centers. I mean, actual usable cards at center. I mean, Jokic is... We've got 1.5. Maybe you'll use Giannis as center. I know KD's a center, but no one's playing him there. Jokic and Dirk, I'm going to put in A tier just because there aren't that many centers and there's a lot of, like, great wings and stuff. But, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to use either of them. Actually, a 25k, whatever they cost now, they're not that bad value if you want to use both of them. But it's the other versions that you can get for cheap, the flash versions. Not bad cards. I'm going to put them in A tier. Obi Toppin, B. Obi Toppin's a really good offensive player. Defensively, he leaves a bit to be desired. Great shooter, though. I like his release. His player build is good. I think he's an all-around good card. Toppin's good. Pau Gasol. I'm going to put Pau in the Kevin McHale tier. His release isn't terrible, but it's not great. His handle's good. His shooting's good. His shooting's okay, I mean. His shooting's good, but his release is alright. If you can get his release down, look, he can hit. But it's a close one between him, Akeem, and McHale. I don't know which of the those three is better, so I'm going to just put him in C tier. PG. Do I put him in S or do I put him... I'm going to put him in A for now, but I really like this Paul George. He's like Kawhi. I'm potentially going to be moved up to S. So we got him here in A tier right now. Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap is a no-brainer where to put him. The guy's A tier. The guy's in that second tier of player. He's almost as good as that Kevin Durant and PG. He's like a slight bit worse in my opinion, but I like Millsap. And for a free card, man, Millsap was absolutely fantastic. Pierce, D tier. D tier, he's no better than Iguodala. There's a lot of things with Pierce that are not great, but there's a lot of great things about Pierce as well. So I'll put him in D tier. Peja Stojakovic. Let's put him in D tier. He can catch and shoot, and that's about it. Penny. A. I like Penny. His release is good. His handle's good. His dunking is good. I mean, you could argue Penny up and Weber down. I'm going to say Weber's a little bit better than Penny, but I think that's a close one. That is a really, really close one between those two guys. So, yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to have Weber or Penny down a tier, but you can argue Penny and S. Rondo. D, but he's not bad. Again, these D tier cards are all kind of usable. And if you're on next gen, oh man, Rondo's fun. Rondo's fun on next gen. Rick Barry, I'm sorry, at this stage in the game, he's E tier. I get it, Onus did well with him 250k. Onus was the only person who used him in 250k, and that was 2 months. That was over 2 months ago. So, like, he can hit wide open shots. The guy's got like low 80s in his defense stats, like no defense badges. Heck, he doesn't even come quick for a step. Rick Barry, E tier. Ron Harper. I mean, if you're on current gen, he's good. If you're on next gen, he's not. Let me just chuck him in B tier. He's a 6'6" good defensive point guard with a meh release. He's alright. He's like way better. Gary Trent can play point guard on current gen, but I'm going to put him E tier. Rudy. Get into S tier. Get into S tier. I'm starting to think, do we have a full team here on S tier? So we got one point guard. We get too many small forward, power forwards. Screw it. I'm not going to just make it a full team. I'm just going to put these in tiers because it's not overall. Overall, I'll make a full team. There's no point making a full team of opals because who's not going to use like a... Who's going to not use a like dark matter or a diamond or a pink diamond or squad? There's no point in doing that. So, yeah, Rudy's S tier. Absolute fantastic player. Great shooter, great release, great dunker. One of the best cards in the game. LaRusso, he's an exchange reward, worthless. He's one of the bad exchange rewards that cost like a couple of $100,000. You have to enter or buy so many packs to get him. So I'm just going to put him worthless. Westbrook. I'm sorry. I like him. He's not as good as Rondo or he's not as good as CP3 right now. So E tier. Scotty. I mean, he plays defense. But I'm not going to put him above Brandon Roy. So, Roy, you go up. Roy, you go up. You go back with the B tier. I'm going to put Scotty in C, but he's a good C tier. This Scotty, same card. Shaq. At this stage in the game, Shaq, you're going into D tier. You're a non-shooting center. And by... Actually, no. If I've got Bill Russell there, he's got to go into D tier, not E tier. Because he still can dominate inside. Steph... I mean, Steph is just not nearly as good as Rondo. He's not nearly as good as Chris Paul. He still has the Steph Curry dribble style. He can't quick stop. You can't create with the guy. He can barely dunk. Steph Curry, E tier. If 2K fix Steph Curry's dribble style with his release, if they fix his dribble style and give him quicker shifty, he goes to D tier. Maybe C tier. But no, they nerfed Steph. And they gave everyone a good dribble style except Steph. They nerfed Steph's fade, which was why he was so good. If you want to have fun using Steph, be my guest. But I'm telling you, you will not notice a difference between this Steph Curry here and the Diamond Steph Curry. So if you want to use the Dark Matter, go ahead. He's way too expensive anyway. But if you want to use this Steph, I'm telling you, just use the Diamond. Tony Parker. I mean, he's no better than Baron Davis. He's terrible. He's shocking. Tracy McGrady, A tier. T-Mac's still really good. He was fantastic when he came out. One of the best cards in the game when he came out. But I think A tier is still the best. Still where he should be. He does not belong in S tier. Trae Young. I mean, slightly better Steph Curry, I guess. Because, I mean, he can move a little bit. Like, he's bad as well. Like, he might go... at least he can quick stop and burst on next gen. But, man, he's not much better than Steph. No, you go D tier as well. You go E tier as well. Oladipo, new card. I've only watched a couple of gameplays. I've not used him. But he seems like he's a beast. He's still only a 6'4" point guard. Still doesn't come with blinders or anything. So, I can't justify putting him in A tier. He doesn't have this, like, absolute god tier release like a Calderon. But I'm confident in putting him in B tier. I think he's a really, really good player. I think he's a really good player. From what I've seen anyway, and I can't wait to use him. VC. I hate him, but I'm going to put him C. I don't know what it is. I've just hated Vince Carter. There's never been a Vince Carter in 2K that I've liked. I think it's some like weird PTSD from, remember, everyone was looking to get the Raptors Vince Carter for years. Then we finally get the Raptors Vince Carter. It was like the rookie one in 2K16. He sucked. And every Vince Carter I've used has sucked since then. Man, I just hate Vince Carter. I go Levine. Because Levine is an easy one for me. Like, if I'm putting Brandon Roy in B tier, I'm putting Zach LaVine in B tier. Like, I think Zach LaVine's better than Clyde Drexler. I think he's almost good as Cedric Maxwell. A little bit more offensive than Cedric Maxwell. But I think B tier is a no-brainer for him. And Wes Unseld. I'm going to get heat for this. I hate him. I hate him. B tier. I have him. I have 3 players in my entire collection who I have put diamond contracts on. Wes Unseld is one of them. That is how much confidence I had in Wes Unseld. The guy he's pretty good on current gen. He moves like a truck. He can't turn on next gen. It's the weirdest thing ever. He's got all the stats, but the guy can't turn. And he's the worst rebounder. Like, he gets out rebounded by 6 foot tall point guards. I don't know what it is about him. I've stopped using... I was getting so angry with having Unseld on my team. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play LaMelo Ball. Then I started winning more games more easily. LaMelo Ball was better. LaMelo Ball's not even close to being in my team right now. I diamond contracted Wes Unseld because I thought he was going to be in my team for the long haul. But man, he's like... If I had an A, B, and C team, he would be lucky to be in the top 6 players in my squad at power forward. Give me Hakeem Warwick over him. Give me Joe Duma or Richard Duma over him. Give me a lot of people over him. I just don't like him at all. But if you want to put him higher, that's up to you. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That is the tier list of the Galaxy Opals in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. Apologies if I missed anybody. Obviously, I'm going to do that from time to time. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.